Welcome back. It's been 4 days since the violence in Nuh and the unrest still continues in various parts of Haryana. Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Katthar has warned of strict action against the perpetrators and said that the government won't spare the guilty. He has assured compensation to the victims as well. A 3-member SIT team has been formed to oversee the investigation. 139 people have been arrested so far. Visuals of the accused on the left side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as they're being taken to court. Section 144 continues and the ban on internet services will be reviewed today. The government has said it will crack down on social media handles inciting violence. CNN News 18 has accessed the FIR, which states that it was a well-planned conspiracy where 600 to 700 vandals pelted stones at the police at the Adbar Chowk in Nuh during the Yatra. That's the piece of news that's coming in. Those visuals on the left side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Among those 139 arrested, these are the accused involved in the entire flashpoint that has taken place in Nuh, whose fallout has been felt in other parts of Haryana and even Rajasthan, as well as the National Capital Region. I'm joined by my colleague Anvit Srivastav, who's reporting from Nuh, which has been the epicenter of the violence. Anvit, over to you. Give us the latest.
Actually, some of the recent arrestees who are being taken to court, they've just been taken out from this police station where they had been detained till now, and they're all recent arrests, maybe probably in last 12 hours. Those who were arrested, they've taken to the court now, from where the police will seek their custody, and then further they'll be interrogated to know more details so that the investigation can further proceed in this entire communal violence. Police have said that there are certain important angles to which they want to, which they want to look into and investigate. At least 3 of them, which are the most prominent, are that the police are looking into if this was entirely an orchestrated act, and whether or not these persons who have been arrested, any of them or those who had been leading the mob on the day of violence, were they being directed by someone, were they being mobilized at someone's behest. Secondly, police wants to know that the weapons that both the groups had been brandishing, be it pistols, swords, sticks and rods. So police wants to know that what was the source of these weapons and how these weapons were handed over to them. Thirdly, police wants to identify if there were any outsiders. For that, dump data has been collected from the epicenters of the violence. CCTV footages are also being checked, and police are trying to find out that people with criminal backgrounds like Monu Mane sir or Bittu Bijri, these are the people who have criminal backgrounds, and they have been videos of them asking more and more people to join the Jal Abhishek Yatra, and even videos of people from other side have also surfaced on social media. So police are wanting to know were there some criminal elements who were behind this entire act and in orchestrating or in leading them off. So for that, those who had been arrested, they have been taken to court just a short while ago. They had been detained here, and now the court, if court grants their custody, they will be further interrogated, and the investigation in this entire communal violence will further proceed on the police's part.
Right. So that's an essential thing at the end of the day, Anvit, that their remand is essential to investigate what led up to the violence which emanated from Nuh. Are all those people who are arrested, Anvit, are they all residents of Nuh and the surrounding areas, or are some of them from outside Haryana?
See, most of them are from here, and when they were being taken out from this police station, we were all here, and when we put the mic to them when they were being taken out, many of them even were shouting their innocence and they're innocent, and they have just been picked up on the basis of information that the police have got from others, mostly over suspicion. And after arresting the main, some of the conspirators, because police have made total arrests of 139 people. Most of them were arrested till yesterday. At least 116 people were arrested, and now the number of total arrested persons have gone up to 139. Those who were coming out and were being taken out in the police van to be taken to the court, they were saying that they have only been picked up on suspicion and that they are not involved and they're innocent. But see, this is a matter of probe, and police are saying that we are yet to interrogate them, investigate them and question them to find out if they were involved there. Also, scientific evidence is being collected. Those certainly who will be found that they were not present, their involvement is not there in the inciting violence, or maybe in provoking one group against another, they certainly will be let off by the court in due course of time. But yes, as of now, police are trying to build a watertight case against any suspicious person or any person who could be the conspirator in this entire controversy that has unfolded in the past 3 days in Nuh.
Right. Anvit, yesterday when you were reporting from Nuh, we saw that when the curfew was lifted between 3 and 5, there was almost no movement in the area. All the shops were still closed, and you had the security forces deployed across Nuh. Has the situation somewhat improved today?
See, as far as the situation, as far as the fear is concerned among the people and the tension that prevails in the area, I don't think there's any improvement in that, because even today, the timing of the relief during the curfew was increased today. It was from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yesterday it was from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So the timing was increased, but even during that time, which was given to the locals to gather essentials, to get milks and vegetables and other essentials that are required for daily living, there was no respite in the tension that has been prevailing in the area. All the shops.
बेकसूर हैं जी ताहिर मेरा नाम मुरादबास का रहने वाला मुरादबास को 103 लाया जी बुला उठा के 15 साल का ले रखा है हमारा बच्चा है सर बिल्कुल नाजायज हो रही है सर नाजायज बिल्कुल 103 लाया वो लाया
Right, you can see those reactions of the accused when it comes to the violence in Nuh. They're saying that they are completely innocent. They're being framed when it comes to the entire investigation. Anvit continues to be with us. He's reporting live from Nuh. Anvit, that pitch that you were talking about, majority of them, many of them crying inside those police vans, saying that they are completely innocent, saying that they are being framed because the government just wants a scapegoat.
Yeah, certainly. See, this has been happening, and even they, on camera said that they are innocent. But see, Ayushman, one thing to understand, even though there has been laxity on police's part in this, is complete utter failure of intelligence. But despite that, in a case like rioting, police do end up rounding up a lot of people, and then they are let off by the court or as investigation further proceeds. Even in Delhi riots, we saw many of the people who were rounded up and who were arrested, they were later let off by the court, or when the investigators did not find any proof against him of being at the spot of violence, or associating them with any perpetrator of the violence, then they had to be let off. This is usual practice, which obviously I'm not saying is a fair practice, but certainly in a case like this, when rioting happens and when mob violence happens, police end up rounding up a lot of people, and then each one of them is zeroed upon, each one of them undergoes tight scrutiny, because police initially do not want any of the perpetrators to be roaming around open freely. So that is one reason why most of them are rounded up just on the basis of suspicion, and then eventually as the investigation proceeds in these cases, they are let off. But yes, most of them had been saying that they are innocent, and they have only been picked up on the basis of suspicion, and that they are completely innocent. Some of them also said that they were not here when the violence took place, but they came back the other day, or maybe a few hours later, when they heard of the violence, they returned to their houses. So only in time to come we'll see. And police are also trying to frame a watertight case, but if there are people who are not involved in violence and they are framed with any charges, then that certainly the court will see in due course of time that courts will pull up the police on that as well, because police on one point has also come out saying that, see, the police, when earlier when the SP and DC had held a press conference, they had agreed that their ground presence was less. They had said that there were roughly around 800 policemen on ground that day when this Jalabhishek Yatra was being taken out, while the number of Jalabhishek Yatra participants was much higher. Even the number of people who had allegedly attacked the Yatra was much higher in comparison to the police. So this can be seen as an utter failure of the police intelligence, that they did not have any idea of the number of what will be the number of protesters or what will be the number of rioters. So that can be seen as one aspect also. But police are saying that their investigation is proceeding, and they are making more and more arrests, and in fact more FIRs are also likely to be registered as police continues their investigation in this entire communal violence.
Absolutely. Those visuals on the left side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, the accused are being taken to court, and as Anvit is pointing out, it is essential at the end of the day to get to the bottom of what was their role. Many of them are saying that they are innocent and they are just being framed, but when it comes to the entire court process, that will decide whether of their guilt and innocence when it comes to their involvement in this entire case. But at the end of the day, the police trying to zero in on the masterminds of the entire violence that broke out in Nuh and spread into other parts of Haryana, the National Capital Region, and even Rajasthan, and the remand of these accused to get to the bottom of who masterminded the violence is very essential. Thank you, Anvit.